Hey parents, Mr. Shaw here. This video is on the count down or count back strategy. If you're looking for the count on strategy or the reasoning behind the videos, look for the count on strategy. That's going to help guide the reasoning behind this. So the count back strategy. This one is different from the count on in that we're going to be using subtraction to help solve the subtraction problem. But it's also going to break up the numbers a little bit easier for the students. So it depends on the numbers we give them, but one's better for the other one. This one's going to be better for students who need a little bit of help kind of with bigger numbers, bigger splits between the difference. So for this number, I'm going to use 176 minus, let's say, 87. Why not? So with the count back strategy, we're going to be using a number line, same as the count on strategy. So parents, when you're working with your child, make sure you're asking questions. The more questions we ask, the more the student thinks, the more thinking happens, the more likely understanding is going to happen. And if we ask questions, we can also help curtail potential errors. So an easy question to start with this one is, since we're subtracting, where do we start? Students by now should know when you're subtracting, you want to start with a bigger number, because we're going to be going left on the number line. So 176 is going to be about right there. I'll make that a little bit easier to see. There we go. Okay, 176 is going to be our starting point, and we know we're going to be going left because we're subtracting. So the nice thing about count back strategy is we're actually going to be taking this number, 87, and splitting it down. Now I did this because it's going to help the students see that 87 is 7 ones in the ones place value and 8 tens in the tens place value. So we can look at this number and say, you know what? We're going to start. We can either do two things. We can either take away the tens or the ones. Looking at this starting number, it might be easier to take away the ones. So 176 minus 7 is going to be what? And then make sure you're doing these simple prompts of, okay, just piece by piece. 176 minus 7, what is that? Now some students still aren't quite there yet, especially with numbers that go past or below 0 and they got to regroup. So another strategy we can do is, hey, you know what? Let's get rid of the 6. How are we going to do that? We need to get it down to 0. 0 is a super easy number to work with, and it's pretty easy to get to when you're subtracting. 6 minus what is 0? Minus 6. So that took our number down to 170. Now 170 is a lot easier because our next step is to focus on the tens. 8 tens is going to be worth minus 80. So 170 minus 80 is a lot easier to work with than 176 minus 87. And it's just a way of breaking down the numbers to help the students see kind of just simple steps. So 170 minus 80, I can think, use my mental math, 17 minus 8, that's going to be 9, keep the zeros, 90 is our new number. So our 8s are done. We did 8 tens, it's going to be right there. But we're not quite done with the 7. We're not done with the 1s yet because I've only done 6 so far. This isn't a good prompt. So hey, you know what? 80 plus 6 is 86. We're not done yet with our original number. So how do we get from 86 to 87? Oh, 1. Okay, we're going to subtract 1 more. That's going to get us our answer of 89. So when we're working with the count back strategy, we're focused on two things more than anything. So the jumps. The jumps are going to be the big clues with this one. The jumps need to equal the second number 100% of the time, otherwise it's just not going to work. And it's easy to check too. 80 plus 6 plus 1 is what? 87. As long as that's number up here, we're good to go. Okay. And as we're doing this, the second thing we need to know is, and make sure we do, is the number we end up at after the jumps is going to be our answer to the original problem. 89. Just like that. Hopefully this clarified the count back or count down strategy. If you have any questions, just feel free to do Class Dojo. My cell phone is pretty much always on, or come see me in class. All right, thank you very much.